What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Post Pro Podcast. It is episode 34. The whole gang is here, and that's all I got for intro. Movie news. Someone take it away. I don't have anything to
Guys,
say.
the epic movie event of the century, Batman versus Superman. Step aside. We're all here to see Godzilla versus King Kong, and the trailer comes out this Sunday. So you all will get to hear our incredible reactions to this mind-blowing trailer on the next episode of the Post Pro Podcast.
Wow.
No, doesn't watch trailers.
Except Noah.
Maybe I'll watch the Godzilla versus. I mean, is it really going to give anything away?
Yeah, I anticipate it's just going to show you
No.
action shots.
I mean, have you guys seen the HBOMax commercial? Because they're it's not a scene, but it's a shot of the movie where they're coming at each other mid-city.
Oh,
And King Kong's flying with his fist, and Godzilla's running with his energy building up, and it just cuts. It's literally 2 seconds, but
yeah. Someone posted on YouTube that HBO Max thing that was just showing the little clips of all of it was the trailer for Space Jam 2. It was the hardest clickbait I've ever seen.
that's funny.
Dude, I wonder when we're going to get Space Jam footage. That's the real question.
Well, you got 2 seconds of it.
Yeah, isn't it supposed to be coming out this summer? Come on.
Dude, there's so many movies that are scheduled to come out in the coming months, and there's not even a trailer for some of them. It's
And for
pretty
Space Jam,
bizarre.
Yeah, I think they've even wrapped filming on Space Jam. They're completely.
It's been done. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been done. Also, Mortal Kombat is done, and we only have the little. Did we talk about that last time? I don't think we mentioned that.
I don't know.
You talked.
Oh yeah,
about
Mortal Kombat got some picture footage, I guess, from just the filming. It looks pretty interesting. James Wan producing. I'm excited, but we're literally let's see how many months. 3 months away from Mortal Kombat, and all we have to go on is some 5 pictures. So
Nice.
yeah.
Well,
I'm
maybe
excited.
that's going to be the movie. Maybe it's going to be just stills.
Yeah, the movie's
Yeah.
just stills.
Or it's
Stills.
just footage from the game. It's just 15 minutes of footage from the game. That'd be pretty epic. But
At 1
yeah.
frame per second.
Oh my god.
that'd be fucking awful. But anyway, slow week on the movie news. Nothing too crazy. I watched the Malcolm and Marie trailer, which looks pretty good. Which is coming to Netflix with Zendaya and John David Washington, which looks pretty great. We're also, I think we're oh shit, that's coming out in a couple days. The Denzel Washington and Jared Leto movie comes out in a couple days. So looking forward to that.
Too bad. Not gonna lie.
I already forgot what it was called, but it
The
looks
little
great.
things.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
little,
the little
things.
things. That's it, the little things.
I mean, Denzel Washington says that 10 times in the trailer
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah, these are the little things.
The little things that you gotta look for.
Yeah, these are the little things you gotta look for when we're making a rip-off of Seven.
I mean, you gotta work on your impressions, dude. That was not a good Denzel Washington. I'm sorry.
Agreed.
I know.
All
I
right.
know
I'll
it.
from it.
Did you have
Yeah.
anything to add?
Yeah. Not to put something in my mouth right then. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah.
Soak up that energy.
Okay, so number 1, the tragedy of Macbeth was filmed in black and white, which is not so much news as much as it is just an interesting thing that's that's fun. Number 2. Yeah, I mean, so Adam Driver, and Greta Gerwig are going to be together in Noah Baumbach's next movie, which is also his first, I think, adaptation. Which altogether, I don't know, that's pretty interesting, especially because Adam Driver and Greta Gerwig are probably the 2 people he's worked with the most,
Yeah.
and I don't think they've been in a movie before. I guess no, they were in Francis Ha, but they're playing I believe a married couple.
Marriage
Or
Story
just
2.
Marriage Story.
Yeah. Oh, bro.
And I think it's specifically Adam
Marriage Story
Driver's.
2 remarried.
Yeah, well, no, that's what I'm saying. I think it's supposed to be the character that he's portraying. It's like his first marriage or something.
Oh,
So that's
Jesus.
Nice.
I didn't even put that together, but yeah,
That's
it's
funny.
great.
If that's actually what it turns out to be, I would be shocked.
Well, it is like an adaptation, and so I mean, I doubt he's gonna take like too much liberties with it. I don't know. Although this is also the first time he's adapted something, as I said, so you know, who knows?
Yeah, that should be interesting.
I feel like there might have been something else, but I'm forgetting what it is now. But yeah, that's all.
Thomas, you have anything to add, or
No?
no?
No,
All
I
right.
haven't seen anything.
Yeah, neither did I. So with that, I think we'll move on to what we watched this past week. I'll go ahead and start it off. I watched a lot. So I ended up.
Yes, you did.
I did, yeah. Thanks to Best Buy, I got this free 14-day trial for HBOMax. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. And so I watched a lot of HBOMax, and I started the week off with something I didn't watch on HBO but you know, the Beastie Boys story, Spike Jonze live documentary about the Beastie Boys.
Yes,
I watched
sir.
on Apple TV. It was pretty good. It was the whole concept of a live documentary was kind of interesting. It was like just a road show of sorts, and it was pretty interesting. You know, I like a few songs for the Beastie Boys, but didn't know much, and it was pretty enlightening. Then I watched Justice League Dark, continuing the everlasting DC animation binge. And it was pretty fun. You know, it unlocked a whole new side of the DC comics that I wasn't too familiar with. And it was a lot of fun.
Constantine, baby.
Constantine, yeah. Really, there were some interesting characters. I liked Deadman in particular. He was cool. After that, I watched Teen Titans The Judas Contract, which...
Oh, yes. I can't wait to hear about this one.
I mean, I don't have much to say. It was pretty forgettable. They turned Deathstroke into a pedophile of sorts, and that was kind of weird. The whole story was just cliche and predictable.
Dude,
and
I hate that
I
movie.
didn't really care for it.
There's like one good scene where they're all like fighting in that one room, and just shit is going down in that room. And then they kill that guy. That guy fucking explodes.
Yeah, like that whole villain was super underdeveloped, and then the character of Tara was just annoying. So
I mean,
I
Tara
wasn't a
is
fan
annoying.
of that. Then I started my HBO Max binge with Class Action Park, which I believe Noah, you watched that, right?
Yeah.
Pretty interesting documentary. You know, all I really knew was that movie that came out a couple years ago, Action Point, that Johnny Knoxville did, was
That's
based
a bad
off.
movie.
Yeah, I knew it was based on like this particular water park, this amusement park. So hearing the story behind that, it's because it's kind of a crazy story. It was a pretty interesting documentary. Then I watched Bad Education with Hugh Jackman and Allison Janney, and it was pretty good. Another crazy true story done in a really simple but stylish way. It was a cool movie. After that, watched Batman Gotham by Gaslight, and that was pretty disappointing.
Yeah, dude, I love that comic too. Like that Elseworld is like so interesting, and they fucked it up so bad in the movie. Like,
yeah, the premise is pretty cool, and they take some risk with the story, which I appreciated, but it was just ultimately kind of boring and forgettable.
I mean, it's fucking Jack the Ripper, dude. That shit's so cool.
Yeah. After that, I watched Silver Linings Playbook, which I know Noah hated whenever he watched that a while ago. I actually liked it. I thought for what it was a nice, simple story with solid performances and interesting characters. But that's just me.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't find the filmmaking particularly great or anything, but I thought it was a solid movie. After that, I watched the Regular Show movie, and it was whatever.
All over that movie. You shit all over that movie. Like,
Look,
I was reading a review, Collin, and I was like, Jesus Christ, dude.
So when I was younger, I used to really like Regular Show. I never finished the series or anything, but I've always wanted to watch the movie. And I mean, like, it had some good jokes and all, and it was kind of like the show, but I mean, that was it.
See,
there wasn't really much to it.
I've been binging Regular Show, like, all the way through again.
Yeah.
and like I'm at like season 2 now. But like, dude, I don't know. It's so much funnier now that I'm older. There's so
Yeah.
many jokes that are like really like adult. Dude, it's actually
Oh
fucking
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
But
There are
yeah.
some. I mean, it is funny.
The movie
Um,
is a little eh.
yeah, the movie was whatever.
Because I think that's how they ended. Is that how they ended the show, or did they have?
No. This happened like I don't know when, but the show wasn't finished by then.
Okay.
And so after regular show movie, which by the way, it should have just been called the regular movie instead of regular show movie,
Shit.
right? You know, I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah.
I watched 2 HBO mockumentaries, sports mockumentaries called 7 Days in Hell and Tour de Pharmacy, both of which star Andy Samberg. They're, you know, parodies of, you know, ESPN 30 for 30s and such like that. And they were really funny. Not much else to say. I mean, they're not particularly well made, but they're really funny, consistent laughs, and they do a really convincing job at giving like the sports documentary feel. And it is, like I said, really funny. I'd check them out. After that, I binged all of Chernobyl in one day. And let me tell you guys, it was incredible.
Yeah, that show's fucking awesome.
I highly recommend watching this because it is just, you know, incredible from start to finish. The production design is astounding. The performances are great. Like the whole story in general is super interesting.
Yeah.
And it just does an insane job at keeping him engaged throughout all of it.
Yeah, and dude, I agree with you though. Episode 2 is the best episode.
Yeah, episode 2 was crazy, and it's also it's also just such a terrifying story, dude, because it could have been prevented so many times. It's crazy.
What I find mind blowing, pulling out of season 2, I had to or episode 2, I had to look up after. I'm like, there's no way. Was the fucking general guy that went in with the fucking truck? The suit, and nothing happened to him. He lived till he was like 80 something.
Same thing with the divers. Remember the divers who went in the water? Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, absolutely crazy true story, and I would highly recommend it. I mean, my words don't put it to justice.
Fuck, he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll drive in.
I'll do it.
And he just drives in, comes back, and he's just lives till 80.
Also, the makeup for the hospital scenes is absolutely insane. Yeah. It's tough to watch. It's like I said, it's just scary. So Chernobyl, it's great. Probably one of the best things I've seen in a while. And then I came crashing down with Wonder Woman 1984. Kind of the reason I got HBOMax, because I was like, well, it's only on here till January 24th, and I don't want to pay money for it. So this free trial is my best bet. So I watched it, and it's bad. I mean, that's all there is to it. I think so. Low expectations, I think, kind of helped me get through this in a way.
Yeah, me too.
But that being said, I think the script's horrible, and it just, the whole thing just feels thrown together. Like they really didn't know what they wanted to do with it. That being said, if I was forced to watch, if someone had a gun to my head and said, you're going to watch Wonder Woman or Wonder Woman 1984, I would rewatch 1984 just because it didn't annoy me as much as the first one. I think the first one's a better made movie, but I think this one is having more fun with it. Like, honestly, Kristen Wiig and Pedro Pascal, like Noah said last week, they're actually pretty good in the movie. I like their performances. The more Kristen Wiig turned into Cheetah, though, the more off her performance got. But dude, Pedro Pascal was pretty consistent.
Predator.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there was like no reason for her to even turn into Cheetah.
Yeah, no, dude, that is the part that made me die hysterically, because I thought there was going to be like this build up to her being Cheetah, and then it's just one scene she's like, I want to be an apex predator.
And then she just appears.
She's just gone, and now she's a Cheetah. It's like, what?
Yeah, it was bizarre.
And then Wonder Woman fucks a random guy, but that's Chris Pine, but then we see this
I read
wishing
about
stone.
that. So
Yeah, but this wishing stone can apparently make a woman a cheetah. So why didn't it just bring back Chris Pine?
Hey, man, I'm not the one who writes the rules.
Yeah, I don't really have any problems with like the logic of the movie or whatever, because like so many of them just like have no logic whatsoever, and I like,
Well, it just I don't know that
sure,
one
but like
in
and it doesn't fit
particular.
anymore. Like, come on, none of those
I know, but
movies make any sense.
and I know I'm not talking about just the logic, just that whole plot line with her and the random guy, and then at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, guys. There's like a Christmas sequence that looks like it's out of a fucking Lifetime movie,
It did.
and she's like talking to the guy that she had sex with, that she was Chris Pine, but is not Chris Pine anymore. And he's like, wow, isn't it just lovely outside? And I'm like, what is the point of this fucking scene?
Yeah,
Please.
Okay, the one thing I forgot to mention that I actually thought was really funny last week was they have like the early on like fireworks scene, or not early on, it's like halfway through the movie, and so this was supposed to be, because they were going to release it during the 4th of July, and then at the end they have like an equally fake looking Christmas scene. I'm like, come on, you can't even pick a lane.
The weird thing about that 4th of July scene is like, so they'd been running around all day during the daytime, and there's like nothing that indicates it's 4th of July. And then they start flying, and then fireworks off, and she's like, oh yeah, it's 4th of July. I was like, come on. I mean, you're in a big city. You're in Washington, D.C. of all places, and there's nothing that indicates it's July 4th. That was just, I mean, whatever.
Also, I was just waiting for a firework to like hit the Invisible Jet's fucking engine and blow up.
He did fly towards them, and I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm like, my mom was just sitting there the whole time, and she's like, this is just stupid. She's like, this is just dumb, because she's a flight attendant, and every time there's anything about a plane in a movie, she's like, that wouldn't happen. That's inaccurate. That's so bad. Like, the only time I have ever heard her agree with a movie with the plane sequence was Castaway. She was like, that was a really accurate representation of what a plane crash would be. And I was like, thanks, Mom.
Has she ever been in one, though?
What?
Has she ever been in one?
No, but she fucking just, she's a plane fanatic.
No, I mean, I get it. I just think it's kind of funny to be like, oh yeah, realistic plane crash.
Yeah, I know. Don't ask me. My mom's fucking just whatever. It's funny as fuck though.
The company that she works for probably has a lot of training for that.
Yeah, dude, her training is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but anyway, Wonder Woman 1984. It's just really lazily written. I mean, it's just thrown together. The filmmaking, I mean, like the action sequences aren't even like they have an energy to them, but they're not like good. That mall sequence near the beginning, holy cow!
Dude, I told you, isn't it awful? It just, dude, it feels like a fucking joke. It felt like a
parody. It really felt like a parody. Yeah.
I told you. So you felt the same way, dude, because I'm watching this and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Even like Hans Zimmer's score during that sequence, I was like, what is happening? This doesn't sound right.
So at least I have one positive thing to say about Wonder Woman 84, and this is the only time I'll say it. I didn't have to hear once the entire movie, so that's a plus.
What do you mean? I mean, it's in the movie, but that's what I wanted to hear more of, because I like the Wonder Woman theme.
Oh, I hate the Wonder Woman theme, so really? I was like, I'm glad I don't have to hear this.
I think it's kind of good.
I hate the Hans Zimmer theme, though. It's so fucking annoying, especially like in the original movie. It's just blaring every 5 seconds when she does something. It's like, my fucking ears.
I don't know. I like the theme. I also like that Patty Jenkins didn't rely on slow-mo too much in this movie. I mean, there is some, but it's not like horrible. But anyway,
the one where she flips the.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad too. Also, she should have killed. Those kids should be dead. Those kids playing soccer in the road, they should be dead.
By the way, that was the most random occurrence of all time.
What? That's like whole sequence in general? Or?
Yeah. No, like just the kids being there. It was like, oh, there's just these random Palestinian kids just in the middle of the road.
Come on.
I don't know. I mean, whatever. Enough on Wonder Woman 1984. Yeah, I mean that was just a superhero moment, so who cares? Yeah, it's bad. God, no, I can't even. I need to recover now. So after that, we watched our first film on my film history class. It was called Detour. We were learning about film noir, and this is a film noir, a noir film made in 1945. It was called Detour, and it wasn't bad. Our teacher gave us a link on YouTube to watch it, and the quality was horrible. So I just assumed, that was the movie, and then I found out it's in the what's it called? The public.
Is it Tubi?
Oh.
No, it's on.
Tubi.
Shoot, what the heck is this called? Public domain. It's in the public domain,
Oh,
and so it's been restored since then. And it was on Tubi, and it was on Amazon Prime, and they had restorations of it. And I was like, shoot, I watched a crappy version, so that made me sad. I'll probably rewatch it sometime. And then after that, I came crashing down once again to watch Cats. And, what is there to say? I mean, I didn't get over just there's this shock that hits you when you start watching the VFX and you're like, wow, they are really bad. And then that doesn't go away for the entire film. And
I love looking at cats' assholes. I wish they were in the movie.
Dude, I literally had to walk out and stand outside of the theater for like 3 minutes. I couldn't handle it. It was
like after the end or at the beginning?
No, like in the middle.
Okay.
in the middle.
That's so crazy. Like, I honestly, when I walked into the theater, I was like, I'm gonna have a really good time with this. And then, like, the second, the first frame comes up, I'm like, maybe this was a bad idea. But then I managed to get it.
So bad.
Yeah,
That's kind of how I felt. I was like, when it started, I was like, okay, Collin, what are you doing? But then, I made it through. I have to admit, the music's catchy. The music was catchy. I enjoyed the music.
Yeah.
So I have news
Not
for
all
you
of it,
guys.
but yeah.
I've seen the stage play, and I've stayed away from watching the movie. I've only seen like a couple clips. The stage play is fantastic, and the music for the stage play is great, but they just literally took the music from the stage play and made it worse. So
Yeah.
That is how movie musicals work, yes.
I haven't heard the stage play music, but yeah, I'd imagine so. Even so, like I enjoyed the music. It was catchy. If I could just listen to the music and look at the backgrounds, because the backgrounds were nice. The production design for the backgrounds was
in
nice.
like a weird way, yeah.
Yeah. But everything else, not good. But hey, Jennifer Hudson was really going for it in this movie.
Oh my god,
That was
yes, she was.
That was the funniest thing. She was really going for it, and she wasn't even like
She
a
was
main
really
character.
trying.
Yeah, I was like, holy cow, wipe your nose, Jennifer Hudson. Gee. But anyway, after that, I rewatched. I went on a Shane Carruth rewatch day. Rewatched Primer, which is good. Then I rewatched Upstream Color, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And that was my up and down week. Quite a week.
incredible week, Collin.
Thank you.
Well, I guess.
Okay, fine. I'll go next, Thomas, if you're going to stop then. So let's see. It started off the week with Desperately Seeking Susan, which is a great movie starring Madonna. And who's the other? Oh, yeah, Rosanna Arquette. I mean, honestly, the thing that I compared it to the most was Married to the Mob, the Demi movie, which I watched a while ago, which none of you have seen, so this isn't really a productive conversation. But I don't know, it's really fun. And I think Madonna is actually, genuinely, incredible in it. And I mean, so is everyone. But I mean, I just think when Madonna often gets hit with, she's not a good actor, which I, literally don't even know if that's true, aside from this movie necessarily or not. But I think she's, really genuinely good in, a award, or should be award-winning way.
Shout out to Madonna Orlando.
Sure. Oh yeah, and John Turturro's in it for 5 scenes. It's crazy. And Laurie Metcalf, right? Okay, that's why. Yeah, it's 2 very early performances from those people. It's kind of crazy. Promising Young Woman. Yeah, I liked it.
Wait. I want to hear about it. What'd you think of it?
I mean, it's hard to talk about it without spoiling it.
Well, yeah, but give me just a non-spoiler review. I actually want to hear about it because I want to see it.
I mean, I don't know. I think the main thing for me was just I went in largely because of the cast, Carey Mulligan, Alison Brie. Who was the other one? Maybe that was
Barnum.
I don't know. I mean, obviously there are a lot of other people in it who I think are good and who I have heard of before, but those are the 2 that I sort of pay attention to like new upcoming movies and stuff like that. I mean, like Adam Brody and like Clancy Brown are both good in it, but I'm not like on the lookout for the Clancy Brown movies or anything. But I think it handles its subject material pretty well, and just sort of like the way that the narrative develops is, I think, exactly the way I like wanted it to develop. And if I think people who have problems with the movie, which is like completely fair, I just think they want like a different movie, which I think they would agree with. I'm just saying, like, I don't think there's anything in the movie that made me think like, well, that shouldn't have really been there. I think either you're gonna like the movie or not, basically. Yeah, I mean, pretty good. Then A Woman Under the Influence, which also honestly was a pretty heavy watch for a lot of reasons. Oh my god. Cassavetes movie, yeah, pretty good. I liked it. I don't know. Also really long. I mean, not, I don't know, but it's like a 2.5 hour like sort of suburban drama where like there's no plot, which is kind of fun. But I don't know, it went along pretty nicely. Watched Beginners, Mike Mills' second movie, and his movie directly before 20th Century Women. It's also great. I mean, it's incredible.
You did have a lot of like really high rated movies.
Yes, I know. And like I've been really trying to figure, well, and we'll also get to this later, where I was just like, all right, and like I need to watch something bad or I'm just gonna like, crash. But yeah, I don't know. I had like really extreme ratings this week. And like I definitely was trying to watch like a bunch of stuff that I knew I was gonna like, but yeah. I don't know. Weird. Beginners, yeah. And I mean I did like it less than 20th Century Women, but I think that's largely because it's a slightly more conventional movie, even though I think it's very unconventional in a lot of ways, especially presentation, obviously. Very thematically similar, and I guess like stylistically similar to 20th Century Women. But much more of a just like traditional love story in many ways, but also like not entirely that. I don't know. I liked it. Watched Allied. God, I only have like 3 Zemeckis movies left, and 2 of them are the Back to the Future sequels, which I've just been waiting to save for the end, so that I don't have to like watch like 5 Ben Zemeckis movies in a row and then just do that. But anyway, Allied, not very good. I honestly don't hate it, although I guess I don't think I've been saying that about like most of his movies that I don't like. But I just don't think it really holds together. I don't know. I like really don't have a lot to say on that one.
I feel like he just doesn't give a shit anymore. It just seems like he just doesn't care.
I don't think that's true. I just think he's a lot less formally audacious. Although I haven't seen Welcome to Marvin, and that seems like a crazy movie. I don't know.
I hated that movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everybody says. Anyway, THX 1138, pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I really don't know what to say.
It is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not really surprising in any way. Like, you go in and get pretty much exactly what you'd expect, I think. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Watched Lady Snowblood, which Tarantino has cited as, I don't know if like his greatest influence or just like his biggest influence for Kill Bill specifically. But I mean, honestly, that was my main takeaway from it. I was watching it and I was like, it's not, so Kill Bill is not really like a remake of it, but if you watched both of them like muted without subtitles, you would just be like, oh yeah, this is like a remake, right? But the plots are like pretty different, which is bizarre. But I don't know, there are just like a lot of like specific stylistic and just like a lot of shots and like the way that the battles kind of end up, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, honestly, really, really good B movie type thing. Then I watched Over the Garden Wall, which is, yeah, I mean, it's incredible. I don't know. This is probably my favorite thing I watched this week, honestly, in a week of high ratings.
Where did you watch that, by the way? Did you rent it?
It's on HBOMax.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
well,
yeah. It's weird that it doesn't have the availability there on Letterboxd, but
How long,
must
is
have,
your,
like, seen it there or
how
something.
long is your trial lasting, Collin?
Till the 29th. And honestly, I'm thinking of just paying for a few months afterwards because there's so much stuff I want to watch.
Yeah, HBO Max is pretty loaded, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
I'm enjoying it so far.
Me too. But yeah, I mean, it's so good. I really don't know what to say. But yeah, and I mean, very obviously indebted to the works of like Miyazaki and other Ghibli movies, but without feeling like derivative in like a bad way, even though it is like derivative in a very technical sense. Like it literally takes a lot of stylistic elements from those movies and everything. But like it's just so perfectly constructed, and it's crazy that they were just like, yeah, we're gonna make like a miniseries, like 10 episodes long, and we're not gonna do anything else, and it worked out perfectly. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, and then so after that I was like, man, my ratings have been really high. I just need to watch something bad. So I watched Idiocracy, which is bad. It's really bad. Like, it's very close to unwatchable for me. Okay, like
He's struggling.
Yeah, I don't know, because any like sort of criticism I can think of, I'm like, but I like really could not pay that much attention after the first like 5 minutes. And like
you should try watching the Smosh movie.
Sure. And like, I don't know why I should like be expected to take this movie seriously. Like, I don't care. Yeah, not good. Casablanca, which is great, also a masterpiece. Crash, which is bad, but honestly,
Best Picture winner.
It is a Best Picture winner. Yeah. But I would say all of the performances are all around, I guess, good. It's just that the writing is like really, really terrible, like first draft level. And also like, so it's an anthology movie, right? But all of the characters basically have the same, like, what do you call it, arc, where it's like they realize that they're racist and that's it, and like maybe something bad happens and maybe it doesn't, and the only like personalities that any of the characters have are like derived from like racial stereotypes and characteristics. It's just bizarre. It's a bizarre movie, but I mean it makes sense that it is Best Picture winning. Upstream Color, which we'll talk about, of course, and Sexy Beast, Jonathan Glazer's debut, which is incredible. It's an incredible movie. I guess I've been saying that a lot. But I mean, God, it's just so good. It's like Soderbergh, it's just like a heist movie that on its own wouldn't necessarily be anything special. But just like the style and specifically the actors just contribute like so much to it. You could very much see like even just the exact script, like exactly as it is, being like, a 6-7 out of 10 movie with just like any other director. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And it's not that similar to Under the Skin, but it is similar in the ways that it's like very nightmarish and like high tension, I guess. Although I guess Sexy Beast is much more of like a like dangerous quote unquote movie. Where you think something bad might happen to any of the given characters, and Under the Skin is you know what you're going in for, like you're going in for a monster movie, I guess. But yeah, honestly, Ray Winston and Ben Kingsley, like just incredible performances.
I saw that Ray Winston was in here, and it reminded me that he was in Cats as well.
He was in Cats, yeah.
And when he showed up in Cats, I was like, that can't be Ray Winston. Why is Ray Winston? I mean, you could say that for anyone in the movie. Like Ian McKellen, what was he doing?
Yeah,
but
Idris
wow,
Elba.
Idris Elba, yeah.
My biggest one was Idris Elba. Like, so good.
Dude, the moment where he goes like full frontal without his jacket and stuff, I was like, whoa, what the heck?
Truly one of, like, not joking, one of the most terrifying experiences.
Odd things. When I looked up Sexy Beast, it pulled up retirement movies.
It is a retirement movie, yeah.
Okay, so it is.
It's like a One Last Heist movie.
Yeah, and then there was a series planned for this movie, and it was officially canned July 13th, 2020.
Wow.
Oh wow,
Rip.
That's crazy.
Wow, what an intro. What a powerful snap, too.
Thank you. Yeah.
Just round of applause.
Thank you.
All right, so going with what I watched, started off with Monero World, which was some short film that we got off. Sebastian, do you talk about the whole list of movie things on the podcast?
No, I don't think we mentioned it. Okay,
No, I think we did.
Oh yeah, we
did.
did.
Yeah.
So
the randomly number generated.
Yeah.
It was just some short film I got from a random number generated like list of movies, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have much more to say. Then I watched Upstream Color because I rented it, didn't finish it, and then didn't want to waste the rental. Then I watched Futureville, which Noah's right. It is fantastic, like masterpiece. Holy fuck!
Yeah, it's
It does so much while staying relatively simple, and it just says so much. It's wonderful. It's thought-provoking, and the last 3 minutes is fucking something out of beauty. It's great. Then I watched, like, right after we did a year in review, probably my favorite movie of 2020, Black Bear, which is, yeah, I highly recommend that everyone should watch it. It's like a Kaufman-esque comedy where everyone just absolutely kills it.
That's all you need to hear.
Yeah, it's usually enough for me to like something. It's like a comedy that is just completely fucked up, and I think it really just utilizes Aubrey Plaza to exactly what she is as an actor and as a performer. Fantastic. I highly recommend everyone here watches it. Then I watched The Queen's Gambit, which was solid. I think it's incredibly overrated. Like, the fact that this has a 4.3 is insane.
So do most miniseries.
Yeah, which is fair.
Yeah.
I feel like people.
Chernobyl's probably around that.
Well, Chernobyl has a 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard a lot like better things about Chernobyl than this. But
well, this of course has Anya Taylor-Joy, and people love Anya Taylor-Joy.
I mean, to be honest, she was better in the Playmobil movie. Let's be real.
Yeah, a movie that all of us have definitely seen.
Yeah. No, I mean, she is fantastic in it. And I think it has a lot of like the Netflix miniseries tropes, and that's why I often didn't like it. But it was still a good watch. And it makes chess incredibly interesting, partially by the fact that, and I mentioned this in my review, how it's Speed Racer plus alcohol plus chess. Because during the chess scenes, they do it the same way they do Speed Racer, with like the floating images and like the fucking commentator like coming onto the screen. It's so good.
That's cool.
I love that so much. It should be a standard for any like competition based film.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'm planning on watching it at some point.
Yeah, me too. I've been wanting to watch it. I've just been too busy watching other shit. So
it's definitely a good watch. I mean, it kept me entertained.
I'm excited.
It, so
it's good. Well,
Sebastian.
I had a very short week. I've been doing a lot of homework for film school, so I haven't had like a lot of time to watch shit. I haven't logged what I've watched for film school, but I watched some documentary that was really boring, and it was about like just shock comp. It was really boring, honestly. So that was pretty awful start to the week, to be quite honest. And then
do you remember what it was called?
Yeah, let me see. It was called.
I want to know if I've seen it.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. It was something so stupid, dude. It was really annoying. Let me look. Let's see. It was. I guess it's just disappeared from my to-do list. It's just gone. So
Bummer. Didn't you do it?
Yeah, hold on. It's just gone though. Like it was an assignment for one of my classes, and I don't know what class because it's just gone.
Oh well, if you already did it, then it won't be on your to-do list.
Yeah.
No, I mean like I'm on my No. I mean on my dashboard.
It will be on your. Okay.
Whatever. I can't find it. It was like around the bend or something like that, or I don't know.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, really boring movie. I don't know what it was called, but it was boring. Then I watched Kanye West's Runaway short film again, and it was fantastic. I think it's like the best short film any artist can produce. It was wonderful. It was it's a trip. It's a trip. Kanye West fucking a Phoenix girl. I mean, it's a bold statement of love right there.
Did you say like just a Phoenix?
It's like a girl who's a Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix. Okay. All right. Well, at least it's a girl, not just a Phoenix.
It's interesting, and it's got some pretty iconic quotes in it. It's it's bad, but it's so good. It's just incredible. It's honestly like really beautiful. Like whoever did the cinematography for it, there's like some really great shots, genuinely, and really good effects, which is surprising. That's why I like it so much. It's just, I don't know, it's really great, and the album is fantastic. So it's good to hear the music along with the album. Watched Donnie Darko celebrate 20 years of one of my favorite movies of all time. Again, still holds up. I think it's a masterpiece. I love it to death. Acting is great. Not much else to say about it. It's just a great fucking movie. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. We've all have seen it here, I think. It was one of our first episodes was on Donnie Darko. So yeah, Donnie
The
Darko.
first episode, yeah.
The first episode, Donnie Darko.
Well, yeah.
So
Well,
throwback.
The first one.
Well, our first review. Our first, yeah. Then I watched WandaVision. Gonna be honest, I wasn't excited for this show, like at all. I really could give a shit less about Wanda and Vision. I literally find them very unlikable when it comes to the MCU movies. I just don't care. Like, especially Vision's dead. I don't know. But anyway, besides that, it's actually pretty entertaining and pretty great. I didn't expect it to. Well, like I expected it, but I didn't really expect it at the same time. It's kind of hard to describe in words, but like, seeing how well they have captured like 60s sitcom in the first 2 episodes is kind of mind-blowing, because it literally feels like I'm watching I Love Lucy. Like, it's fucking crazy. And they don't really, like, if you went into the show not knowing the MCU, you would just feel like it was like a fucking old sitcom. It's pretty crazy. There's really not much from the first 2 episodes that really dictate that it's an MCU show. It's really just, oh, this is Wanda and Vision. And that's really it. There's really nothing to connect yet. And there's a lot of people shitting on the show. But like, again, from the first 2 episodes, I can't judge the entire show. So I don't know where the show's going, but it's setting up some mystery. It's going somewhere. So I'm looking forward to seeing where the show goes from here. But overall, pretty great.
It really kind of won you over there, because when you first started watching it, you sent something in the group chat. You're like, dude, this show sucks.
No, I didn't say that.
No,
Yeah.
Casey said that.
Casey said that?
Casey said that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I remember someone saying it.
Yeah, it was Casey.
Casey,
was like,
okay, sorry.
Sucks. Yeah, no, I just wasn't excited for it. Like, I genuinely just don't really care about their characters. They were like kind of like off on the side of the MCU, so it was just kind of weird to me that they were the ones to get a show. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. It feels like the Twilight Zone meets MCU, so I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Yeah, and that is all I watched this week besides from Upstream Color. So I think let's hop right in. I'll start off. I'll talk a little bit about it. I've been wanting to watch this movie since Collin told me to watch Primer, and I loved Primer, and I absolutely loved Upstream Color, and I kind of was doing some. I was kind of like looking up about Shane Carruth, just kind of reading about him after I watched Upstream Color. Man, there's a lot of shit I didn't know about this guy. Like, First off, dude, the topiary, what the fuck? That shit sounds insane. I was reading like the script for that. That sounds baffling. Ryan Johnson said it was great. Yeah. Anyway,
there are actually some of the VFX shots.
Yeah, the fucking weird unicorn looking thing.
Yeah, it's in Upstream Color, which is kind of cool.
But yeah, that movie sounded excellent. And then his other one he has done, well, he was
The Modern Ocean.
Collin. Yeah. That sounds fucking crazy too. And both the scripts are out. You can just read them, which is crazy. But anyway, Upstream Color. Yeah, I fucking love this movie. It was one of those, I gotta watch it again, but it was one of those like I can't really put my thoughts into words, but it's like one of those like I would say it's more of like an experience movie. Like, I wouldn't particularly say it's like a masterpiece or anything, but I really do like this movie, and it's kind of a chill movie. Like, it just kind of gives me this feeling watching it, like this I can't explain it. It's just kind of like I'm at peace watching this movie. It's a very strange like feeling. But
yeah, I know what you mean. Because I kind of felt the same way rewatching it. It had been like 4 4 years, something like that, maybe even more since I last saw it. And I was just like, this is like, even though it's like, it's kind of dark, it's got like the whole concept is kind of like but it does have less like serene, calming quality to it.
Yeah, it's very strange. I'm gonna have to watch it again, but Shane Carruth definitely, in my mind, to me, proves that he definitely could have been something absolutely amazing in Hollywood, and he just wasn't given the opportunity, or just shit happened in his life or whatever, because he does it as a hobby or whatever. But genuinely, if he really wanted to, he could be one of the greats, and that's just kind of a shame seeing all of this potential that this guy has, and he just doesn't want it. It just kind of saddens me because from both of his movies I've seen, it just the concepts this guy is throwing around and just what he's talking about in his movies is just there's no one doing anything like he's doing, and it's just kind of sad that that's it. We're not gonna get. He's apparently gonna make one more movie, I guess, but
Oh, really? I thought it was done. Like,
no, he. I was reading interviews that he posted near the end of the year, and he was talking about I have one more movie in me, and that's it. So I guess he's changed his mind, whatever. But I think he's a fine actor too. You know, nothing amazing. I thought the acting in the movie was fine. It really, to me, where the movie kind of like spoke to me was just like just the weird, just fucking scenes of just the guy and recording the noise of nature and shit, and just dude, the what I got out of this movie, I haven't like looked up any explain videos or anything yet, but like because I want to watch it again, but like I guess like some fucking uh, I don't know, these people had like a parasite, and it like I guess like woke them up or something, or did something like a body snatcher shit, and then this guy that was making weird sounds in the forest, they like came to him and he like took the insects out into pigs or something, and then they like felt interconnected on the train, and then they started talking, and then they fell in love. I guess that's what I got out of it. So it's just like the feeling of like the emotional feeling that you have towards people and what love is, and you know
it's about like interconnectivity and like the cycle of life in a way.
Shit. But yeah,
and
I
how
got
you
like
relate to
love.
nature.
Yeah, I got love a lot. That's kind of like a theme I got, was like love and being connected with nature. And I'll say I was under the influence watching this movie, so that might have taken a little into account here. But I just thought it was great. Again, I just find it just such a shame. Like he's had like, dude, he had I think if I remember correctly, was it Lynch invested in the topiary?
Fincher and
Or was
Soderbergh
it Fincher? It was Fincher,
produced them. Yeah.
which is bizarre, dude. That movie sounds fucking insane. So yeah, I really did like this movie. So moving on to whoever else wants to pick up next.
I'll briefly go over my thoughts. I mean, I still kind of feel the same way as I did before. I think this is funny enough, a much more straightforward film narratively than say Primer, because Primer is so
totally
caught up in the mechanical nature of its science and the rules and such. This
Primer
one
is just crazy though. Like it's even looking like I rewatched Primer not that long ago. Like honestly, it's just crazy. Like you would think like hearing about Primer, like it wouldn't work, or like that, like it would be convoluted, but it's really not, because everything in Primer works, and that's what's crazy about it. Like all of his timelines and shit all add up. It's just crazy.
I would say Primer is a little convoluted, just in the fact that I think the plot's a little too rushed, especially in the finale, to make everything. Like I've watched it 3 or 4 times and I'm still kind of lost in certain parts, but that's besides the point. Upstream Color, I think, is much more like free flowing in its style and story, which does make it kind of like, okay, what exactly am I watching at some points? But the end kind of makes it all worth it. I mean, I really don't have much to say. It's well shot. It's well acted. I think the themes and ideas are interesting. I'm not a fan of how he edits his movies.
Their editing is awful.
But I mean, yeah, this is definitely like a movie I'd continue to rewatch. Arrow Video is actually releasing a Primer and Upstream Color Blu-ray next month, which I think I'm going to get.
Yeah, I'm buying that.
Yeah, but it's a good movie. He's a good filmmaker. That's really all I have to say. And the score is good. I like the score.
Oh, by the way,
Which
which is crazy. He did the score himself too.
Yeah, same with Primer.
Which is crazy because I fucking loved the score. It reminded me of like Blade Runner kind of a little bit, like just those synths and the if with the character that did like the stuff with the sounds, if that was him that did the sounds, you know what I mean? Like that came up with that shit. If that's actually how they did the sounds, that shit was cool. I like seeing the guy like make the noises. I don't know. I just thought that shit was cool.
Oh, and I had one more thing to say, especially like watching this back to back with Primer. There's such a difference in how much dialogue is in each movie, because Primer is very dialogue heavy. You have people talking over each other like every scene, whereas Upstream Color, it's largely dialogueless. There's not a lot of talking at all,
Visual.
which I thought was interesting. It's a much more visual and much more sort of just emotional experience, which I thought was interesting. It almost, the way the movie was structured and the way it played out, it almost kind of reminded me of like a Malick movie in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say especially in terms of editing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's all I have to say, really.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of Tree of Life in terms of the editing. Well, I flagged it. I don't know if you guys heard what I said.
I heard you.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
me too.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't like it that much, but
No, me neither.
So did you end up finishing it, Thomas?
I watched it.
Okay. Well, I know you said you like started but didn't finish it, but then okay.
Well, no, and then I finished it. Obviously, I don't think I'd ever just not watch the film. Well, besides the fact that I still need to watch Mrs. Furious.
Yeah, hey, get on that.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't like it that much. It's just like a film where it's just like, what's going on? What's happening? It's just, and I think he's trying to do too much while saying too little throughout it. And like, in terms of something that's going to work with like little dialogue and like very little explanation, something that's simple, right? Like in Tree of Life, because I think that's the biggest connection, like the most similar thing that I've seen in terms of, just looking for a reference. Tree of Life is very simple in its ideas. It's just about that marriage, about the love, about that family. And this is just like alien or like parasites, like taking control and bringing people together and then killing the pig that makes the parasite. It's just too much.
That's interesting because though, like, I understand where you're coming from, I figured your sort of like draw to existential stuff, like with Kaufman, would have made you like this in a way.
I don't know. I think I have an issue a lot of time with like science that just doesn't make sense. Like, how is this bug?
Well,
like,
it's a science fiction film.
Yeah, but I feel like there's some level of understanding that I can get with a lot of stuff, and I don't know. Maybe not only science that doesn't make sense, but science that is so grounded in reality, but that feels like it doesn't belong in that reality.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, but to me, I don't know, like especially with like a movie like this, I just kind of accepted it. Like, I mean, he's a science fiction filmmaker. He, that's just kind of what I've come to expect from him. So going into this movie, I had like no idea what it was about, nothing, and I don't know. I get what you mean, but I don't know. It's just one of those movies. I mean, we've all seen like a film kind of similar-ish, like Tree of Life or some other type of movie, but it's just like a weird, surreal, just experience. Like I definitely classify this as a film, obviously, but it was more to me like an experience. Like I felt like I was watching like life on a screen. Very hard to describe my thoughts, but I don't know. It just was really surreal watching this film.
Yeah.
I guess I feel like I went a little bit too much on the end of like how much I didn't like it, but I mean I did enjoy it at points, and I kind of like that editing style sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
It
can
works.
be,
It works. It works. It works
Um,
sometimes, but Jesus Christ, like near the beginning, that like beginning like 5 minutes, cut, 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 guy walking, cut, 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 cut. I'm like, Shane, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too
Um,
much sometimes, but yeah.
I mean, I guess that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Love his cinematography though. His cinematography is wonderful.
Any thoughts, Noah?
I mean, mostly just that. Like, I don't know. I watched it for the first time, like, I guess, like a year and a couple months ago, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. It's on Letterboxd somewhere. And I remember, like, sort of enjoying it, but not really understanding it, as, I mean, most people are saying, obviously. And then, like, I read the Wikipedia afterwards, and I was like, okay, I have, like, a little bit of a better grasp, but I might have read, like, an interview or something. But I don't know. It just plays really poorly now to me, I think. Just a very weird decision to have, like, Amy Seimetz sort of at the emotional center of your movie, but then to have her sort of like going through a lot of trauma that you see, and then to have like Shane Carruth supposedly going through that same trauma, but you don't ever see it. I don't know, just very bizarre and feels, yeah, I don't know, not good. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, and I don't think Shane Carruth is a good actor in this. I don't think he's like awful or anything, but
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree. Like, I think he's just passable. Like, I'm not gonna say like he's
I
like the
wouldn't even say
worst.
that though.
I know, but
He's
he's
pretty
just.
good.
I think he's fine for what he is. I did enjoy him in Primer a lot more though. I liked his character in Primer a lot more.
Sure, yeah.
But I read like
I
an
mean, I guess
interview of Shane Carruth talking about this movie, and he was talking about how he basically made it for what got out of the movie. He was basically saying like, you know, there's not really any interpretation to the movie. It's just kind of what you think or what you get out of it. And that's kind of, I don't know, I like that type of filmmaking because it's not like, I hate when directors like make an ambiguous movie like this and then they just go, oh yeah, this is it. Like you got it. Like this guy got it. But like I like when a filmmaker kind of just leaves it up to my own interpretation of like what I got out of it. And I kind of like that. I don't know. It was just kind of an experience to watch, and I'm looking forward to rewatching it again, even more under the influence of things, and it's gonna be a great time.
One other interesting thing that I thought about, I read an interview with Shane Carruth talking about it, and one thing he pointed out was that he wanted to make the drug dealer at the beginning of the movie who was really using these like larvae as the drug to people. I mean, he tases the main character, drugs her. He's like the malicious antagonist of sorts. But he comes out of the picture when the sampler, the guy who uses the infrasonics and takes the like parasite out of her and stuff, when he comes in, he's the one who has the pig farm. And ultimately he's seen as like the bad guy because they end up killing him, right? When really he was just kind of like a leeway between like stage 1 and stage 3 of this like cycle, which he said he was trying to make. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was I just thought it was kind of interesting because he's really not doing anything harmful like the drug dealer is,
No.
but he ends up dying.
Also, I that was like one thing I was like, this is like just very strange, but like weird. Like when he could like touch the pigs and he could like see into like the lives of like the people that have had the parasite is what I assumed, right?
Yeah.
That was just I thought that was fucking cool. I don't
It
know.
is cool. Yeah, I thought it was interesting
Yeah.
too.
I was like, dude, I was like, if I could do like you could feel their pain and like see like their lives going on and
Yeah,
dude, I don't know. There's just
actually, like you mentioned, Shane Carruth has some really cool ideas.
dude, his ideas are I know that's just what's such a shame, dude. It's just like I would love to see what this guy could do. And again, there's 2 movies that have been canned that would have had huge budgets. Like what Shane Carruth could do with like a huge budget, like honestly, and I'm not just saying this, like he could literally change sci-fi forever, like with like the topiary, which I read some of the script and I had to stop because I'm like, dude, this is just fucking insane. Like he
He could
just
be the
has
next
all these-
Blomkamp.
Yeah, literally. That's kind of the vibe I get from him, and like he's just not doing anything. It's literally like Neil Blomkamp. Like Blomkamp just decides just not to make movies. He's just like, yeah, you guys got one good movie from me. That's all you get.
Yeah.
Like Shane Carruth is just kind of like in that same realm for sure. But yeah, I really did like this movie, and I thank Collin for introducing me to Shane Carruth because
You're welcome.
what a fucking wild filmmaker. What a wild filmmaker.
And with that, let's go around and give ratings. I'm at a cool 6 out of 10. I think it's a good movie.
I'm at like an 8.5.
Right.
It's like a 4 or 5 for me.
All right, so I'll say 4.5.
Yeah.
Like a 3.
All right. So that is a 5.5 out of 10. Better than halfway. More than
Not
halfway.
bad.
Not
bad.
So Upstream Color, 5.5 out of 10. And with that, I believe it's my pick.
What a film.
Yeah. And
I was
so,
forgetting whose pick it was. For a second, I thought it was me. I had one prepared just in case.
well, no, it was
Save it for next week.
Save it for next week. Yeah, it was that time where Sebastian missed 2 in a row, and so we got all kind of thrown off. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is my pick, and I've been thinking of amongst a bunch this entire podcast.
Oh boy, now we're gonna have to do another like a roulette pick.
No.
Okay.
I've decided on one. I looked back at my previous picks, which were the Suspiria films and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and I realized I haven't done a true Collin pick in a while. So we're going true Collin fashion. Get your sad hats on because
Yes.
we're going to be watching a Darren Aronofsky film.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. We are going to watch Requiem for a Dream.
Hey.
Oh shit.
One
Oh,
of the
fuck.
most devastating films I've ever seen.
I haven't seen it, but I just saw Jeremy Johns reviewed it. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
pretty sure he just reviewed it, and I was gonna watch that review, but I'm gonna stay away now. So.
Okay, yeah. Requiem for a Dream. It's one of the best films I've ever seen, but I will let you guys go in with your own expectations, let you guys form your own opinions. I'm excited to talk about it.
I'm just gonna be honest. I have no idea what this movie is.
It's got Jared Leto in it.
I literally only have heard of the movie, and that's it.
All right, well,
So
yeah, going in blind, Sebastian.
I actually am going in blind. So
Have either of you guys seen it before?
No, I
No?
haven't.
All right, cool.
Watched it for a while.
Awesome. All right. Well,
Always a good
and
sad movie.
yeah, exactly. All right, so with that, I think that's going to wrap up the 34th episode of the Post Pro podcast, Upstream Color, and then next week, Requiem for a Dream. All right, so with that, signing off. Till next time.